Mr. Chairman. First off, I'd like to commend the chairman for filing Senate Bill 1921. I think this is the most comprehensive, most relevant, most timely, version of the bill, and I believe this is also the sponsored or the DBM sponsored measure, without taking anything away from the other authors of the different measures under consideration. I have four major topics or issues which I am particularly interested in, and ilamsam ko na lang. You may respond to any of or all of them, not necessarily in the order that I will dish them out. Number one is UWACS, Unified Accounts Code Structure. Particularly those sa authorization phase, meaning when the budget measure is already being deliberated in Congress. Kasi napansin po namin, initially, mayroong mga codes bawat item. But during pagka na-transform na yung NEP into the GAB or the General Appropriations Bill 1, the first version or the House version, nawawala yung mga UWACS. So we cannot anymore track. Mahirapan kami mag-track. Ano na nangyari doon sa nawala, nadagdag, mahirap. So para matulungan nyo kami ni Senator Sherwin, ang chairman, baka pwedeng i-retain natin yung UWACS every step of the way. In the entire budget cycle, hindi mawawala. Kasi nagre-reappear ito pagdating na sa website during implementation, di po ba? So can we include that in the measure para ma-institutionalize na hindi mawawala yung UWACS? Second item, yung before you respond, second item is yung convergence mechanism dito sa bill ni Senator Sherwin. Yung vertical relationship between the national and the local government units, and also the horizontal between and among the different local government units. I'm interested in that. Kasi nga, kung hindi maliwanag yung convergence mechanism, hindi natin ma-define. Kasi alam naman natin masyadong heavy sa taas, masyadong centralized yung ating budget, yung ating appropriations. The third one, yung budget realism. This is the more comprehensive part or portion of the bill of the chairman. And last but not the least, on program appropriations. Interested po ako, anong history nito? Saan ba sumulpot ito at ano bang intent natin ngayon in the advent of the flood control mess? Lilimit na lang ba natin ito sa foreign assisted projects? O i-restrict na lang ba natin yung national government, yung flexibility? Di ba? Mawawala yung to a great extent or degree, mawawala yung flexibility ng national government, particularly yung executive branch, para pag-implement ng mga programs, ng mga PAPs. So yun po yung apat na items, apat na topics or issues na pwede nyo sagutin isa-isa, not necessarily in that order. Thank you.
Yusek Abal, you may respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senator Lacson. For the concern po on the UACS, may we be allowed to ask Yusek Del Rosario to answer, Mr. Chair?
Before I respond, Senator Lacson, the Committee on Finance is also undertaking a digitalization of the budgeting efforts, no? And
Actually, that's another issue. Nakalimutan ko lang, yung digitalization.
and tama ho kayo. In fact, during our internal workshop, kami ni Yusek Del Rosario, tama ho kayo. Nawawala ho yung UWACS pagdating sa authorization phase. In fact, that was a problem when we were talking about how to digitalize kasi dapat process nawawala siya sa gitna, no? So we recognize you, Sec. Del Rosario.
I noticed that she's smiling. What does that imply? Thank
Yes, sir. Smiling because it's it's a recognition of the challenge that we are having in the executive, because as you know, we have standardized the unified account code structure, and we noticed nga po that the UACS process and policy is somewhat being put aside during the authorization stage. And then once we get the GAA, that's the time that we actually take time to assign UACS code, the code structures for the GAA line items, especially for the new ones, kasi we have to assign and then everything has to move. So and during the workshop as well, that Senator Gatchalian mentioned, I think there is also a need to adjust both the policy and the process, because we understand that we are currently actually revisiting the UACS code policy. We have a technical working group looking into it right now. It's part of the PFM Public Finance Management Reforms Roadmap, that's tasked under our group actually. So we intend to have it actually next month to and we will furnish siguro, sir, the committee on the result of that technical working group. However, as you know, we are doing the digitalization, data mapping, and it's I always tell the tech team that we always have to ground it with the UACS because it's the single source of truth of everything. So we will be able to even map out up to may geolocation codes in po yun, so it's up to the project level. And it's a very handy tool and very effective tool for us to track the projects from womb to tomb. So
Excuse me, Yusek, honestly, can you do something about it? Because
sir.
this is under the authorization phase, remember.
Ah.
How much influence can you exert on Congress, both houses, na wag mawala yung mga UACS? Honestly.
Sir, I think that's the beauty of the bill. I think that the bill will be able to address that, because of course there's this wall between executive and legislative. So we in the my capacity as the DBM IT, we are assisting the IT teams of both houses of Congress to at least comply with the UACS code structure. So we're actually talking already, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So,
Mechanism, vertical and horizontal.
yes, Mr. Chair. So, insofar as the vertical and horizontal convergence is concerned, we support the participatory approach in the budget process. So, in the version po of the bill filed by the chair, and with we also will be submitting some suggestions or inputs during the TWG, Mr. Chair. So we support that there should be strengthened RDC process. So it's but we also wish to highlight insofar as what we have currently, yung RDC process po would include the review and endorsement, not review and endorsement of the programs, projects and activities at the regional level, and then that will be submitted to the agency central office. Ang nakikita po naming weakness now po, because this has been our policy even before, hindi lang po institutionalized by a law, is that after the ACO process, meaning the agency central office process, ang feedback wala nang bumabalik sa mga RDC. So hindi po nila alam kung ano yung nake-carry,
Mr. Chairman, how do you synchronize? Are there efforts to synchronize the local development plans as submitted by the RDCs with the budget call? Kasi off ang timing eh. January, nag-start na kayo ng budget call, di ba?
Yes, Mr.
Pero
Chair.
sometimes, mid-year or even third quarter pa lang, natatapos yung RDC. Napafinalize yung mga regional development plans, local development plans. So, paano nyo ma-synchronize yan na yung output ng RDCs, different RDCs, will be incorporated or at least yung majority. Ito nga yung convergence na sinasabi natin. Kasi kung off yung timing, nauna yung budget call, and these concerns have always been expressed by provincial governors. Pag nakakausap namin, pag nagdi-deliberate sila sa RDC, sasabihin ng DBM, sorry Gob, tapos na kasi. Tapos na yung NEP, nandun na sa Congress. And that's the reason why, during the budget season, puno yung aming hallway. Nakapila sa mga opisina ng mga senador, kasi nga hindi na isama yung kanilang sinabit sa regional development councils, yung kanilang pinaghirapan in the preparation of their local development plans, hindi na umaabot. So are there efforts to more or less synchronize para yung timing, pagkatapos ng submission ng RDC, yun yung masasama sa budget call?
We support also the LINCE, ito pong initiative to strengthen the planning program budgeting linkage. So insofar po kasi as the mga inputs from the LGUs, particularly through the LDCs, local development councils, ang nakikita po namin doon, of course the DepDep can also may be able to provide inputs. Papasok po siya doon sa planning stage. And yung sa planning stage po niyon, Mr. Chair, ultimately for a particular budget year, meron po tayong tinatawag na budget priorities framework. And it comes out or it is issued sometime March, if I'm not mistaken, after the budget call. Ang concern po ng DBM, that's why we are issuing the budget call December po, para pag January nakaka-start na yung agencies as to their basic. Mga tier 1 po, yan yung mga regular PS, regular MOE nila. Those are the ongoing projects. But for the tier 2, ito po yung expanded or new. Supposedly, yun po yung susunod doon sa planning natin. And magga-guide sa kanila is the budget priorities framework. And the budget priorities framework comes from the planning as an output of planning, sir. So, yun po yung gusto namin sanang ma-strengthen and ma-institutionalize. But insofar as the RDC po, kasi yung sa RDC sa budget prep na siya mismo, and supposedly, I also agree, Mr. Chair, personally, kasi kung lalabas yung budget priorities framework, March, for example, RDC tapos na ng Feb or March, yun po yung baka hindi na, opo. So, that po is a concern that can also be addressed, Mr. Chair, para mas maging maayos.
I think our lawmakers, particularly the members of the House, should be educated in this regard. Sa planning kasi, they can actually participate because they are members of the local development councils. Ang problema, this is a turf issue. Wala kami pakialam dyan sa mga local development councils. Anyway, pagdating sa Congress, kami yung hari. Power of the purse, sabi nila. So, anong nangyayari, they deal directly with the agencies. And sometimes, they don't deal with the agencies at all. Sila na lang basta nagsisingit, nag-insert, without any coordination man lang with the implementing agencies. And that's the reason, one of the reasons, major reason why malaki yung, mababa masyado yung obligation rate. Because if the agency or agencies like the DPWH, for example, hindi kasama sa pagpaplano, how can they implement something that they have never been part of the planning? So, mababa tuloy yung obligation or yung utilization rate. So, mas maganda siguro para hindi na kami naabala pag budget season ng katakot-takot na folders coming from local government officials. Doon pa lang sa planning phase, mag-participate na yung mga lawmakers doon o kailangan natin ng tulay dito sa aking distrito para maipasok na doon sa local development plans. Hindi po ba? I think DBM should also exert some efforts to, disseminate this kind of information, not only to the local government officials, but to district representatives in particular as well. Saka para wala na yung allocables. Kasi nung allocables, ano yun masyadong subjective, di ba? I think we can hear from Yusek Conti, no? Na yung allocables, ito yung nagiging tool or weapon na mag-deal na lang ako directly with the Secretary of Public Works and Highways. Bigyan niyo ako ng items yan, bigyan ng listahan na wala naman pinaguhugutan. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yusek Abuel, any response?
We fully agree with Senator Lacson, Mr. Chair. Currently po under the LGC, the representatives of representatives are already members of the LDCs. Ang isa lang po siguro doon na parang missing link, I'm not sure if DepDev can be able to give input on this, is kung paano po aakyat. Kasi primarily po the LDC is concerned with the local budget, local planning, local budget. Pero sir, yung vertical, yung paakyat, hindi umaabot. Meaning, I'm not sure how maybe DepDev can also be able to provide input po kung paano yung papasok ang LDC sa planning stage hanggang magkaroon po tayo ng PDP. But I believe they are part of the
Actually,
process.
that's not a question of how They must actually.
Yes, Mr.
Diba?
Chair, yes.
They should play a major role in the planning phase of the budget cycle. Andyan yung parang pinaka-importanting portion ng ating budget cycle. Yung authorization is parang minor na lang yan Probably, for example, a congressman or a district representative, meron siyang nai-input do sa local development plan. Bantayan niya na lang pagdating sa Congress, di ba? Na hindi mawala. Dahil ito pinaghirapan ng local development councils, from the barangay, municipal, city, up to the provincial. So, maybe we can hear from DepDev, yung views nila regarding this issue. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, we recognize ASEC Tolentino.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for giving us the chance to clarify on this matter, Mr. Chair. At the Regional Development Council, the local government units are in fact given the chance to integrate their priorities, so the priority PAPs. Actually, at two levels, in the preparation of the local development plans or the local development investment plan, the LGUs will be identifying their priority PAPs. This is also with the participation of our CSOs. And this PAPs, as already prioritized by the LGUs, will have to be submitted to the line agencies. Also further prioritization and evaluation, so that this could also be included in the agency investment program. And during the agency budget review, which is being undertaken by the Regional Development Council, the agency budget, which already incorporates the prioritized PAPs, will already be deliberated upon. And based on the priorities of the region, this will already be endorsed by the RDC to the DBM and also the agency central offices, Mr. Chair. So that is actually how the integration is being done at the local level up to the Regional Development Council.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yung last na lang, yung unprogrammed, ano bang intent natin dito? Kasi I have to leave before 11 o'clock. Meron akong commission on appointment sa hearing. So kindly respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senator Lacson. So for the unprogrammed appropriations, we are supporting po to lessen, to limit to it the barest minimum yung unprogrammed appropriation. So in the version of the bill po, the latest version as filed by the chair, ang nandito po is to cover support to foreign assisted projects. Basically yun na lang po ang matitira, Mr. Chair, kasi yun po yung pag lumabas yung proceeds ng loans, doon po marirelease yung amount. So and there's also a provision that it will be limited to 2% of the total expenditure program. The 2% po is based on the average over the years, and naghahanap po kami ng basis, but per our information, ito po yung laging nag-float is hanggang 4% po yung acceptable internationally. Yes. So in countries like England and Thailand po 2% po ang ginagamit nila for unprogrammed appropriations. So at this point in the 2026 may tatlo na lang po tayo because some others tinanggal po at the level of the Senate na naagrihan ng BICAM, and the President also vetoed more items. So tatlo nang natira: support to foreign assisted projects, we have risk management program, at saka yung revised AFP modernization program. So ang isang tinitingnan po doon, hindi naman kailangan yung dalawa na nasa UA pa rin, yung risk management program and the revised AFP. Although yung sa revised AFP po kasi malaki talaga, sir. And in the recent years kasi ang nangyari, na-propose tapos nalipat sa UA.
Chairman, but also try to find a balance do sa unintended consequence nito, no? Kasi mayroong limitation do sa financial flexibility ng executive. Baka mayroon palang kailangang mapondohan, no, na mag-realign, no, o magamit standby appropriations ng executive branch. Have you considered that aspect?
We also fully agree with that in the practical sense, sir, kasi parang wala na. Pag ano lang tayo, support to FAPS, wala nang iba. So what are you looking at? Contingent fund, NDRRM fund, yung mga iba pong lump sums na pwedeng makargahan pero programmed na siya. And as the public knows, meron po tayong cases about the unprogrammed appropriations. So there will be an oral arguments in April, but we're not sure kung lalabas as the legislation
Especially yung
goes along.
NDRMF na do sa budget, kasi hindi naman natin alam kung kailan puputok yung volcano, kung kailan magkaka-earthquake. So saan tayo huhugot kung wala tayong standby?
Yes, Mr. Chair. So
you also try to find a balance, ano?
Opo.
But of course, ano, as an aside, alam naman natin na yung mga local government units can they have this reserve 5% ng kanilang revenues para sa calamity, hindi ba?
Yes, Mr.
And
Chair.
ito, hindi naman, pag hindi nagamit in 5 years, ginagamit sa general fund nila yan eh. Sometimes, hindi na nakukonsider yon kasi pagka pumutok yung Taal Volcano, takbuhan agad sa national government. But we failed to ask them the questions. Magkano ba yung na-save nyo? Kasi hindi naman taon-taon o hindi naman every 5 years, pumuputok yung Taal o yung Mayon o nagkaka-earthquake. So malaki rin yung nakukuha nila kasi 5% of say a city like Quezon City or Makati or Taguig, na ito na yung anlalaki ng kanilang local revenues, ano? Pati IRA pag pinagsama-sama mo, daig pa yung actually mga councilors nila, talo pa yung mga congressmen eh sa laki ng budget nila. So we should also consider that. Kaya importante yung convergence mechanism, not only vertical, especially horizontal, kasi pagka nirelate natin yung income, yung revenues ng different LGUs, iba-iba yan eh. Minsan ang lalaki ng discrepancy. So pagka nilahat natin, hindi tayo naging particular, baka binibigyan din natin yung very rich local government units. Ewan ko yung Valenzuela, malaki rin ang income ng Valenzuela, kaya baka hindi rin kailangan masyado ng ayuda from the national government. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I interject? Mr. Chair, Yusek Abuel, according to a news report in February, the president said 3% lang yung cap for unprogrammed appropriation. So it's not really 2%. You might want to reconcile with the figures of the president. Kasi dito rin sa bill po namin, Senate Bill 1358, we're also calling for about 3% cap. Yusek Abuel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the current po as computed. We're 3.31, Mr. Chair. That's what the president mentioned. But the proposal po in the bill which we also support is 2%. Gagawing 2 po, just like the other countries, and below the so-called acceptable rate of 4%. But we will leave that to the wisdom of Congress po. 2 or 3 would be okay with the DBM.
Mentioned my other countries. So this is a practice
Opo.
in other countries.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So we had development partners before po. So nung tinitingnan po to, sinasabi nila that's also acceptable in other countries. As mentioned po and as shown to me, Thailand and England po 3%.
Submit na lang sa
Or
amin yung
2%.
mga different
Yes, Mr.
countries
Chair.
and their yung cap na linalagay nila sa UA.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, based on the data that we have.
That would be all from this representation, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. Thank you, Secretary, or dati naman Secretary, so Yusek Janet.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.